let's continue with the second part of the show, which is Danny Brown. Danny Brown went to Joe Rogan show and discussed a number of things, and one of them was him talking about the downside of rap. The downside of rap. Let's see what he was discussing during the show.
What made that bad is that I started a little too old. So I didn't really get recognition or, you know, till I was 30 years old. And you got to think I've been trying to do this my entire 20s. So when I started to be a rapper or get recognition for it and being that, I had a bitter attitude towards it.
Mm,
You get what I'm saying? Because it took
yeah.
so long for it to happen.
That happens to a
And
lot of
then
people.
now I'm 30 years old. As a 30-year-old rapper, is like how the it's like a ticking time bomb at that point. Like how much time you got.
Really?
So I'm already in my head. Like I will say, a lot of people say like being a rapper is dangerous. Like because all the killings and shit like. But I would say being a rapper is dangerous in the sense because once you do it, you can't do nothing else. It ruins you.
Would you say that?
Well, I'm not a rapper, but I'm curious. I'm curious to hear where he's going, because I do believe that I don't think that being a rapper. So if you would ask me, without me,
Exclusively being a rapper?
yeah. So if without having seen this clip, so I don't know what he's going to say next. But if you tell me being a rapper is dangerous, I don't believe that being a rapper in itself is dangerous. I do believe that if you're a rapper in a particular genre, that could become dangerous, especially if you're into gangster rap and what's it called? I think it's called ops. They rap about their ops, something like that.
Yeah.
Like
you mean drill rap?
Yeah, drill rap. Yeah, so that's definitely something I would say that's dangerous. But he's apparently not talking about that. So I'm curious to see where he's going with this one.
Okay.
You. So let's just say you can't do nothing else. It ruins you. So let's just say, okay, let's just say I was a rapper and then it failed. Then I got to go get a normal job.
Well, if anything
but I had
fails,
minimal success. You saw my video somewhere. I had a couple views. Yeah. And now I'm working at a job with you. Now you're like, oh, you, blah, blah. Yeah. So that, and everywhere you go, somebody,
that's true.
So you always recognize.
But that's true if you're
so you're always getting acknowledged for your failures.
But that's true
every
with
time
anybody
someone.
In the public
so
eye,
just
man.
imagine every time someone recognizes you, they're acknowledging your failure. That hurts. It hurts.
Of course it does. But that's what happens in all walks of life. Anytime when you fail and people get to shit on you, and if you work
fries at McDonald's, no one cares.
Don't you remember Gary Coleman?
Nigga,
Gary Coleman from Different Strokes? Yeah, he started working as a security guard and people would just shit on him relentlessly. I'm like, imagine that. Because if he was just a security guard, no one would care. You would never walk up to a security guard and go, look at this fucking loser. You're a security guard.
That's exactly what I'm saying. So
it's the same thing with actors.
So me being Danny Brown, I can never go back to being I can never go back to being Daniel.
Danny, you don't have to, first of all, and don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. You don't have to. You're never gonna have to do that. I know what you're saying, but you can't think about like worst case scenario and dwell on it like that.
Now you have more context.
Yeah, I don't agree. I understand what he's saying. I don't agree with the word dangerous. So I think it's not dangerous to be a rapper, as he's referring to. Yeah, in this context, no. It's probably, it can be inconvenient to be a rapper. I would also argue that it depends what type of rapper you are, what type of genre. But all in all, what he's talking about is people might shit on you and say, yeah, well, you didn't make it. You tried and you didn't make it. But I'm that person who would say, yeah, I'd rather not try and not make it than to not try at all. You know, there are more people doing that. More people not trying at all due to the fear of failure than people are actually trying to get somewhere. And yeah, that's my point of view on the matter. I don't know if you agree with me or not.
Well, I think I look at it the same way. A lot of people, a lot of times, don't go for the thing they have in their head, that career they want to. They play it safe. They don't make the right moves. But then, when someone tries to do the best they can, they will be very critical of them
Yeah.
and try to, as I think it was Danny, or it was Joe who said they try to shit on him.
Yeah.
Even if you failed. So, for example, the Gary Coleman example he gave. I don't know if you guys remember Gary Coleman. He was Willis, I think. He was Willis in what's the series? Different
Uh,
Strokes.
I don't think it's called. What's Different Strokes? Guys, let us know in the chat if you
Yeah,
can.
let us know. This is far before my time. Man.
This is before my time. What you talk about, Willis?
Different Strokes, yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez,
Yeah.
Kobe. Different Strokes. Let me share my screen real quick with you guys, so you can see. For those who, from the newer
I don't
generation,
know.
who don't know
Yeah.
who Gary Coleman is, this is Gary Coleman. This is Gary Coleman from Different Strokes.
Yeah.
What you talk about, Willis? He was a child star. Made good amount of money during this time, but the big problem he had was his parents were not managing his money correctly, and basically blew it. They blew his money, and he had to suffer the consequences of this. And what is even worse is the other people who are basically taunting him because of this. Tells you what kind of people they are.
I think it was in the Jeffersons too, by the way. That's where I know him from.
Let me see real quick. Gary Coleman. Gary Coleman was part of Different Strokes, Hello Rally, Facts of Life, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Let me see if I can find Jeffersons. Yeah, the Jeffersons.
That's where I know him from.
Yeah.
I never watched Different Strokes. Is Different Strokes the one where you had all those actors that ended up becoming famous?
It
Jamie
had
Foxx, Jim Carrey, and stuff. No, that was in Living Color.
Living
Yeah,
Color.
that's a different color.
Totally different.
Yeah, that's a different show. Yeah, proceed, man. Didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, so that's clear. Let's continue with the clip of Danny Brown.